that he jumped to was above him?
No,
No.
no. The closest I've been to one is like one climbed on my arm one time because this girl I knew, she had like a gecko or like one of those little lizards.
Hello, Moto.
And it would it would just like kind of climb on my arm and stay on my arm. It was like very small, almost like.
There's tons of lizards out here, man. Out in Texas, you see
Oh,
them running all over the place.
Maybe why, Mom? Because they're near Texas is near Mexico.
It's hot down there, and yes, even Florida's the same way.
Because I think I think it also depends on where it meet. Like if you're right next to Mexico or like a country like that, like you're gonna have critters like going across the border and stuff like that.
They're going
sombrero hat.
Yeah. You know, the iguana with a sombrero hat. Stop there.
Warning.
By chance?
Yeah, but you know, I think it also depends geographically where you are and where neighbors and all that. But anyway, I think we're on right now. Let's see here. So we're back, everyone. Let's see. It's First Corinthians. So we're going to start with First Corinthians 15:20. We're back, everyone. We're doing a short little First Fruits 2023 study. So a couple of these are parallels, basically spiritual parallels of Messiah, and how first fruits sometimes in a spiritual way would not just refer to Messiah, but to us, or at least to the, it seems like there's a connection between the 144,000 even and first fruits. So we're going to do a little study about that here. One scripture I actually would like to add to start off with instead of First Corinthians. I want to go to Colossians 2:16-17, since this is the first time in the Brit it mentions that shadows that are to come. So these are shadows that are to come. So let's see here. All right. So now we're going to go to Colossians 2:16-17. All right. Let no one, and I actually like the way the ESV does this. Let me go to, Therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in question of food and drink, or with regard to a festival, or a new moon, or a Sabbath. Okay. These are shadow of things to come, but the substance belongs to Messiah. Or you could say that the body is of Christ, not Christ, is of Messiah. So the body is of Messiah, so meaning that only the body of Messiah is allowed to judge these matters. So now this is saying that these things are shadows, and even though first fruits is not a actual legitimate feast day, is the day after the high day of unleavened bread. It is special and important, and we just did in the previous study about how this day would be the day that you give the Omer and all that. So this day has a special day to it. You know, many have drawn the connection of Yahusha being the fulfillment of waving the Omer on the day after the high day. Okay, so the day of first fruits is the day after that high Sabbath. So many have drawn the connection of him representing that Omer being lifted. And like we mentioned in the previous study, he doesn't have to rise on the day of first fruits to fulfill spiritually first fruits. That's not how spiritual fulfillments work. That's not how allegories work. So we kind of already addressed that in the previous study we did today. That there's no requirement that he would have to rise exactly on the day of first fruits to be our first fruits. Okay. So anyway, now we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15:20. All right, 1 Corinthians 15:20. But in the fact, Messiah has been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. Again, Paul is saying that he has become the first fruits, and he's not even mentioning that Messiah rose on the day of first fruits. He's saying in the spiritual way, Messiah has become the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. Now, what Paul's talking about here, he's talking about those that are dead in Messiah. So in a spiritual way, Messiah has become the first fruits. Okay, so, all right. Revelations 14:4, the first fruits to Yahuwah and to the Lamb. So now we're going to how we, in a way, become now first fruits to Yahuwah and to Yahusha. It is these who have not defiled themselves with women, for they are virgins. It is these who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These have been redeemed from mankind as first fruits for Yahuwah and the Lamb. Okay. Let's see here. So now we talked about Leviticus 23:15-17. Let's go to verse 20. I don't think we did that in the last recording. So let's go to Leviticus 23, verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits as a wave offering before Yahuwah with the 2 lambs. They shall be set apart to Yahuwah for the priest. Now, I find it interesting. It says for the priest, but Yahusha is our priest. So how does this work out? He himself being our priest it gives himself as a wave offering. So I like that connection there. That it's even more special in the Melchizedek priesthood because he became the wave offering. He, as our priest, is the wave offering itself. Romans 8:23, first fruits of the bodies, and Paul talking here. So Romans 8:23. Not only the creation, but we ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit, growing inwardly as we wait eagerly for adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies. Now, here's a perfect example of not a physical fulfillment, spiritual fulfillment. Obviously, if we're spiritually being grown into first fruits, it's talking about, sanctification, set apartness. It's not literally saying that we started growing on the day of first fruits. It's talking about spiritually from the inside that we're being grown into first fruits for Yahuwah. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So it's a very brief study because there's not much scriptures that talk about the day of first fruits in general. There's very few scriptures that talk about that in the Tanakh. So I wanted to incorporate this today to show you guys the spiritual connection of it and the spiritual fulfillment, how Messiah fulfills it, how he is the first of the first fruits. So with his resurrection, we all will have a resurrection if we stay in him. So this study is meant for encouragement. It's meant to understand better the difference of spiritual fulfillment versus physical fulfillment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this study. If you guys have any questions about what we talked today with the previous recording and this recording, with either one, if you guys have any questions, and would like to bring up anything maybe I forgot, please feel free to reach out to the YouTube page, please. And also, those of you that I noticed we're getting more viewership. Yahuwah's leading more people to this YouTube page. Please, if you like the content Yahuwah's moving us to put out, please like, share, and subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you get notified for any study we do in the future. Because sometimes with the algorithm of YouTube, you guys sometimes will not see anything from us if you do not click the notification bell. So please do that. Also, those of you out there, like I've told Sister Josie and them out there, if you guys are looking for studies of ours and you can't find them, you might have to click the live tab. Click on the live tab if you're looking for live streams, if you're looking for when we go live. It will not be in the regular video section. I just want to make that clear. So hopefully of all of our brothers and sisters out there celebrating the week of unleavened bread, you guys have had a great unleavened bread. Yahuwah willing, please stay tuned. We'll be back this coming weekly Shabbat. We'll be getting back to our regular readings in the Brit Hadashah for Sabbath evening, Yahuwah willing, and all that. And for all of you out there that are celebrating the last day of unleavened bread, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great high day, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.